Seminoles have tested their fans in these early games. FSU is back home tonight, and they're counting on a test from NC State. The Wolfpack coming back to Tallahassee with a 2-game winning streak over FSU, and the 3-time national champs cannot afford to slip up this evening. So tensions are high for this ACC matchup. And NC State playing with a lot of confidence right now. 3-1 starts. And tonight they will play their ACC opener here at FSU. In fact, trying to make it 3 in a row over the Seminoles. Wolfpack, a very young team. They only had 11 scholarship seniors. In fact, only 8 are going to play or are eligible to play here tonight. So they really rely on youth, and so far that has really come through for them. On a beautiful night in Tallahassee, the NC State Wolfpack traveling to Florida State. Wolfpack looking for their 4th win of the season. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Dave O'Brien. My partner, Tim Hasselback, and Larisha Harris will be joining us in for Katie George this week. You know, the starting quarterback situation is really fascinating for FSU as we come in. James Blackman, with that knee injury suffered last week, it will not prevent him from starting, but Hornibrook is waiting in the wings.
He is waiting in the wings. It is amazing, if you're James Blackman, how healthy you are when you're banged up. And your backup played as well as Alex Hornibrook played a week ago. It really is an interesting situation here because Hornibrook has the experience. He's probably not as physically talented as James Blackman, but he's been instant offense when he's played for this Florida State group. And so it's a tough decision for Willie Taggart going with James Blackman to start this one off.
Always a dramatic moment here. Chief Osceola on Renegade to plant the spear. And we are moments away from getting this one underway. And for more on tonight, let's toss it down to Larisha.
NC State, such a young yet talented team. They have a tall task ahead of them as they open the ACC slate here at FSU tonight. I spoke with head coach Dave Doran, and he told me that to get prepared for this game, he used the team's lone loss to West Virginia, another road game, as a focal point for growth. That's how the word of the week comes into play: pride, personal responsibility, and daily excellence. Quarterback Matthew McKay told me pride is about being intentional and doing your job regardless of experience. The coaches say the leaders need to take pride in being vocal, while the players say they must bring the energy.
Larisha, thank you very much. NC State has won the toss. They have elected to receive. And some energy in the building tonight. Against Louisville, the attendance at Doak Campbell Stadium hit a 36-year low, just over 46,000 in a stadium where the capacity is almost 80,000. And it is Parents and Family Weekend here in Tallahassee. They're hoping for another boost of energy from that. Keon Lassane back to receive for NC State. Under head coach Dave Doran in his 7th year. Look out for some trick plays tonight because he loves those. He loves to mess with the defense. Matthew McKay, starting quarterback. One of 3 McKay brothers enrolled at NC State. 2 play on the team. His brother Timothy is a true freshman linebacker. The other already has his degree in engineering.
And they're looking for bigger plays out of this passing game. He's been fairly efficient, but explosive plays have kind of been missing in this offense, and looking for more of that out of McKay.
Number 3, Emeka Emezi, is his favorite wide receiver. Jordan Houston is the lone setback with him. And he'll try to bounce out to the right. Got free of a tackler close to the 30-yard line. Taken down by Amari Gaynor eventually. But a 5-yard pickup. NC State has won the last 2 meetings with FSU. Last year, 47-28. That was in Raleigh. So 2nd down and 5 for the Wolfpack. And a handoff again to the young running back. Houston trying to wriggle free. Taken down by Taylor. As he'll gain 3 yards.
You look at Houston, he's one of 3 backs that NC State feels like they have that are good quality running backs. Houston, probably the guy with the most speed. They want to get on the perimeter. Interesting to see him starting this football game.
Yeah, using him early on the first 2 carries. 3rd down and 2. He'll run it again, spinning free, and now takes a hit. He's driven back across the 30-yard line. That time the Seminoles were ready for him. That was Gaynor and Warner with the double team. And so here comes the punting unit. So he was denied. DJ Matthews, he can be very dangerous back there inside his 20-yard line. Trenton Gill, former walk-on, won the job in the fall. He's averaging about 47 yards a punt. Let that one bounce and continue to roll as he scoops it up and scampers out. So Florida State to take over the football here. Hornibrook right there wearing number 12. Blackman suffered what was reported to be a sprained MCL. And Blackman without a helmet on. So it's going to be Hornibrook.
That's a surprise. It's not what the coaches had told us. And then pregame, we saw James Blackman running around the field. He looked fairly healthy, but you look at the numbers for Hornibrook. 15 to 20. He was outstanding a week ago. And the crowd responding to him in the lineup.
Well, he was terrific coming off the bench after Blackman was injured last weekend. He's going to throw it the left-hander and complete at the 20-yard line. That one caught by Terry. And a pickup of 9.
It's a good start for Hornibrook. You see him here. Let's go over this ball and gets drilled in the pocket. But the ball right to the face mask of Terry. That's what you want out of your quarterback.
Akers with the handoff, finding a little bit of room. And he'll pick up the first before he's tripped up by Moorhead. Akers, the ACC's leading rusher. He's getting about 125 yards per game. They want to get him at least 25 catches or touches. Akers finds a gap and upended out close to the 50-yard line, stopped by Jarius Woodhead. And a gain of 7. Back to throw again. Steps up in the pocket. Got that one free. It's Terry across the 50. Chris Ingram with the tackle after 7.
It's good poise in the pocket by Hornibrook as he's looking to his left. Doesn't like it. Hits the underneath route to Terry, who's coming right into his line of vision.
They want to go fast. FSU is actually last in the country in time of possession. Of course, Akers will get it. And up to the 45 as he picks up the first down. And they're going to get it and go. Akers again to the left side trying to move that pile. Stopped by Murchison. Now Kendall Briles, the offensive coordinator for Florida State, very happy with the scoring. Early in games, they have been almost unstoppable. That one dumped to Akers, finding room to the outside. Got free of 1 tackle. He picks up 8. Only Alabama and Texas have more plays of plus 10 yards coming into this Saturday.
And you just look at the way that how quickly the play is coming in. We're just inside 30 seconds on the play clock, and everybody's set ready to snap the football.
On the screen, Harrison. And keep on moving it. They pick up the first down. Now, FSU has had plenty of late game issues, but not in the first quarter, where they've scored 56 points, tops in the ACC, number 4 in the country. Play action, man coming, got it loose and complete. Outstanding play. Tough catch. That's Keith Gavin to haul it in for 11.
Somewhat fortunate here. He doesn't see the corner pressure. And I don't know that I would advise making throws like that, but he obviously gets away with that one to Gavin.
Another quick hitter, and they're making a living on those here early on. That's McKinney, the tight end.
I mean, this is just crazy. He's getting wrapped up just as he's throwing kind of across his body as he's going down. You know, fortunate because there's no way he could see the front side of that play. But sometimes you're just lucky, Dave.
Yes, sometimes it's better to be lucky. Akers stopped, brings up 3rd and 5. Fast and furious, the Seminoles on offense. Akers getting a lot of work running and receiving on this drive. Hornibrook trying to keep it, trying to spin across the 20-yard line. Stopped by Peyton Wilson. So 4th down, what do they do?
Looks like they're sending on the kicking unit, and I think it's probably the right decision. You know, you're a team that has started fast all season long. You're in the red zone. Go ahead, take some points. Even though Hornibrook has some experience, it is his first start here at Florida State.
Ricky Aguayo, who missed 3 field goals against Louisville last week. This would be from 37 yards to get FSU on the scoreboard here in the first quarter. And that one is up, and it is good. FSU strikes first here tonight in Tallahassee. Florida State plays fast, quick starts, 59 points in the first quarter that leads the ACC. Now, earlier this week, Willie Taggart was talking about he wanted to see fans here in this stadium here tonight. So he was actually pleading, doing quite a bit of that. He was very thankful about the fans who did show up last weekend.
Yeah, and last weekend it wasn't a great turnout. They do pull out a win, and it seems like on family weekend, an excellent turnout by this group.
So McKay trying to answer. And on the screen, it's Hines as he dives ahead to the 30. That'll bring up 2nd down, pick up a 5 yards. Hines, the grad transfer from Wake Forest. You know, after the defense for FSU allowed over 1,000 total yards over a couple of weeks, FSU hired Jim Leavitt, who was Willie Taggart's defensive coordinator at Oregon, to help work with the defense. And they like how that progress is going. A drop pass. Houston couldn't handle it. And incomplete.
You know, when you look at Matthew McKay and throws like that, you can see what NC State wants to do. They want to throw the ball out to the perimeter to make this defensive line, this big defensive line for Florida State, run sideline to sideline, want to wear them out. But it only works if you give an accurate throw to the perimeter player.
3rd and 5 for the Wolfpack. McKay back to throw. Had some time. Airborne, and a tough catch. Messi, his favorite receiver, to haul that in before Samuel and Fagan got to him.
And this is great offense all the way around. McKay does a good job of staying in the pocket. He gets hit after he throws. And Messi, I really like his game. He's a big, strong receiver. Goes up and attacks the football. Doesn't wait for it to come down to him.
Bailey Hockman is in at quarterback. And McKay is out as they start this drive to the 30. So the backup is in. He will hand off to Bam Knight. And a tough drive on the right side. Hockman, the backup quarterback, transferred to NC State from FSU, where he redshirted in 2017. But in last year's spring game, he threw for over 200 yards.
Yeah, and he played early last week against Ball State. Ended up throwing an interception on a tipped pass, but I thought by and large he played fairly well in that football game. A little surprising to see him, but also Matthew McKay, missed a couple opportunities early.
And not moving the team. They hand off for Bam Knight again. He takes a hit and stopped by the Noles. And was shut down by Emmett Rice, the linebacker, for a loss of 3.
This Florida State defense has come ready to play. You see Robinson, he's playing basically the entire game now with the injury to Kando, who was hurt versus Virginia. But it seems like as they've gotten thinner on this defensive line, they continue to play harder.
3rd down and 7. Hockman gave way to Hornibrook. And that one's going to be incomplete. Flags everywhere.
Pass interference. Defense, number 12. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
On A.J. Litton.
It's a great job of Mezzi fighting through contact to the ball. It's not a good throw by Hockman. This ball is left way inside. And if Litton is playing it better, it's just man coverage. If he's playing it better and looks inside, that ball's thrown right to him. That, you know, that is your receiver bailing your quarterback out. And it's one of the reasons these NC State quarterbacks trust Mezzi so much.
Now, just as we were complimenting them on penalties, not racking those up, they pick up the interference. Hand off to Person, trying to dance through the left side, still on his feet. And up into the pile. On the carry, final seconds of the 1st quarter. A gain of 4. So that will bring up 2nd down and 9.
I would say I'm surprised as we're looking at Matthew McKay. Unless it was a predetermined move just because of where they gained possession of the football, that they made a move then, still in the 1st quarter when Matthew McKay has been their starter.
And I'm trying to bounce outside. Person on some tough yardage and getting a little frisky too in the final seconds of the 1st quarter. So it's on to the 2nd. Florida State with the 3-0 lead. Not much scoring early on, but the Noles are out in front here in Tallahassee. Welcome back to ACC Network Primetime Football presented by Geico. Start of the 2nd quarter. And the Wolfpack trying to punch it in. 3rd and 2. He slips and down he goes. Well, Hockman losing his footing.
You know, you have a backup quarterback come into the game. You have him playing under center when you play the majority of your snaps in the shotgun. A short yardage situation. You know, sometimes it's just getting used to it. He gets stepped on by the center. Gibson steps on his right foot as he's trying to come out of there. And, you know, those are the little things that happen when you have your backup quarterback play. It's a shame because they ended up getting the ball on the 30-yard line. Really just sputtered on that drive.
That'll also be Christopher Dunn. Field goal from 29 yards. And he drills it to tie this one up at 3-3 in the early seconds of the 2nd quarter.
We saw Blackman warming up. I saw him run around the field. Didn't seem to have a limp. And even last week when he was injured, it wasn't like he had to be carted off the field. He went and got on the bike, then was walking around congratulating his team. So, you know, we certainly entered in with the expectations that he was going to be the starting quarterback.
Elton will take it. Fair catch. Now, Willie Taggart said last week, you know, he was ready for that moment. The game wasn't too big for him. The moment wasn't too big for him. And nothing there on the attempt by Akers to run to the right. Aleem McNeil with the stop.
You see McNeil gets into the backfield right away. You know, talking to Dave Huxtable, he really felt like the defense coordinator for North Carolina State. He really felt like their defensive line matched up extremely well versus this offensive line for Florida State.
2nd and 11, loss of 1. Elton in motion. And he's hit as he releases, but got it away and complete nonetheless. Or was it dropped eventually? Yeah, it was incomplete.
And Hornibrook just holds on to that a little too long. They're trying to run a wide receiver screen. See that little pump fake there? I don't know if he didn't feel comfortable with the throwing lane, but because he was late to it, it allowed the defense to pursue. And so, you know, Griffin on the pressure and then Wilson there to make the play on the receiver.
So it'll be 3rd down and 11. Hornibrook again pressure, and down he goes as he is sacked. Laurel Murchison, who's really bounced back from being nicked up earlier after spending some time down on the field. He's flying now.
He does this terrible job of the guys up front. Watch them try to pass this off here as the pressure comes. You don't end up going on the other side. Your left guard, Arnold, is coming across and behind the center. You just never, ever do that. I know that they're inexperienced up front, but that is kind of the rule number 1 in pass protection. You want to pass it off, not end up coming around the center.
Thayer Thomas, outstanding outfielder for the Wolfpack baseball team. Drops it. That scoops it up. And now nowhere to go. There's a flag on the play. Great to have you with us tonight here in Tallahassee, the home of the 3-time national champions. Dave O'Brien alongside Tim Hasselbeck. We're seeing a couple of quarterbacks in the game playing a lot of downs, a lot of minutes that frankly we did not expect to see this early in the game.
Listen, I have a soft spot for backup quarterbacks, okay? I'm never against seeing some of those guys play. But this is a surprise. We thought we would see Alex Hornibrook at some point. I don't think we thought we would see Bailey Hockman this early, or maybe even at all.
Right.
And so I think it's a surprise. And, you know, kind of for Hockman in a hostile environment, it's a great crowd here tonight. It's been noisy. And so, yeah, that's been a surprise for me. And I think that when you look at Alex Hornibrook, you know, things haven't been as easy as they were last time out for him.
Now Hockman continues to play. He'll drop back to throw and fires that one incomplete. That was tipped. Nasruldeen, who is just outstanding back there at free safety and has 28 tackles already this season out of Concord, North Carolina. Messi in motion. Hockman rolling. Gets free. Now dumps that one off to Messi, and out he goes. That's his favorite wide receiver coming into play tonight. He had made 25 catches.
It's a really nice play by Bailey Hockman as he escapes outside the pocket here. When you move the pocket plays, you want to push the perimeter, which is exactly what he does. He gets Brown to draw into him because he thinks that he's, you know, a threat as a runner, and then he's just able to dump it off to a Messi there. We can run after the catch.
And enough to pick up the first and 10. Hockman trying the sideline, and a terrific catch made by Devin Carter. Right along the sideline, and they're into the red zone.
It's a great catch, and it's also a great throw. He's just able to get on top of Stanford Samuels. And you look at Carter, 6'4". He's able to just go up over the top. Leaves enough room for the quarterback from the sideline. It's a good-looking wide receiver. Nice throw, great play.
So 1st and goal from the 6. Wolfpack on the move. Not much there as Robinson met Person.
And really just a slow developing run play, and Robinson comes off, you know, the edge here. You know, when he's unblocked, it's just kind of a misdirection run play, but Robinson able to run it down from behind. I've seen that a couple times now, you know, where these slow developing run plays are able to be chased down from behind. It's a nice job by Robinson.
2nd and goal. After a loss of 3. And incomplete. He wanted Person, but a misfire.
You know, it's interesting. You have that huge play, you know, the big play on the go route to Carter, and then they stop the game. You know, in NC State, much like Florida State, likes tempo. And, you know, that's why I didn't like the official stopping it for maybe a yard in terms of where it was spotted. and get your offense out of a rhythm if you want to go fast.
Now let's see if they put it in the air. Hockman, the backup quarterback, major story here in the first half. He's played most of the snaps. Hockman from the gun to the end zone. Incomplete. And no flags on the play. Coverage by Cyrus Fagan.
And Bailey Hockman is going to want this one back. Ricky Persman is in the backfield, and he's just going to leak out here as Angeline goes to the corner. Well, look at the fullback person, or the halfback person. He's wide open. He's uncovered. You just throw him the football, he'll end up walking into the end zone. Seemed like Bailey Hockman, who knew he had pressure on that play, didn't, look at the entire picture, ends up trying to force the corner out.
This will be done from 26. And that is good. So NC State with a 6-3 lead, 6:25 to go before halftime.
Dave Doran talking to Hockman coming off the field there saying, hey, listen, we had a tight end. If you hit Ricky Person in the flat, they blitz the protection, but they don't cover Person who's running into the flat. And I think Dave Doran is saying, okay, hey, talk to me. I know you haven't played a ton, but what did you see? Because we left some points on off the board there that we should have had.
And Angeline, a very big target at 6'7".
Yeah, Dave, I think it's a great point. You have a 6'7" tight end that's had success in the red zone already this year. As a quarterback, you're kind of thinking, okay, hey, my big target. But that's why you have to read it out if you're the quarterback, because your halfback in the flat was a walk-in.
6:25 to go here in the second quarter at Doak Campbell. Well, the defenses have been really good. NC State 7 tackles for loss and 4 sacks. See if Cam Akers really starts to rock and roll. They want to get him at least 25 touches per game. Still on his feet and breaking free is Wilson. Pokey Wilson with a 17-yard pickup.
It's a good aware play by Wilson. As you see, as he spun down here, I think he's sitting on top of Smith. Good awareness. Got to get back up and run.
First down and 10. James Blackman, the #1 quarterback for the Seminoles, has not played it down in this one. This is going to be ripped off for a big gain by Helton. Very simple play, but he's going to gain 13.
It's essentially a sweep. You look at the right tackle, Roberts. He just releases and does a good job of just getting enough of more. And Helton, you see his speed when he gets on the perimeter, outstanding once the ball is in his hands.
Akers trying to bounce outside. They converge on him to bring up second down. Murchison with another tackle. Just 19 yards so far for Akers. Second and 9 for the Noles. Pressure. Dumps it off, incomplete. He's getting a lot of that tonight. Ingram came. The right corner, the junior from Salisbury, North Carolina.
And Hornibrook, for the second time, doesn't see the corner pressure. Here it comes from over here. And watch Hornibrook as he is trying to sell, the screen here. He doesn't recognize it. And so if he would have seen it earlier, he could have drifted, given ground. But because he saw it late, it ended up affecting the throw.
Third down. Hornibrook at Wisconsin started 32 of the 35 games he played in. Quick throw and a quick hit. Terry, touchdown, 44 yards.
And that's the speed we're talking about with these Florida State wide receivers. Tamari Terry, Scary Terry as they like to call him, just runs a slant. And if you're Dave Doran and you're in man coverage and you think, well, shoot, Chris Ingram is our best corner on the field right now. He can maybe make that tackle. Hornibrook able to keep him on the move, and then you saw the speed into the end zone.
count the extra point, and that will make it 10-6. And now we'll see how his young quarterback performs. The 6'2", 210-pounder Bailey Hockman. Matthew McKay, the sophomore, the starter, did start the ball game, but didn't last very long. So under 5 minutes to go here before the half, and a fair catch. Jordan Houston to back with him, but he is back to throw. And on the screen, nobody there to block. And no gain. Cyrus Fagan, strong safety, came up to say hello. And that will bring up second down. Hockman with the handoff. Houston finds a big hole on that left side. He'll pick up the first down. Boy, he is a tough runner. Got a good block, too.
He got a great block. It's a good job of the guys up front at getting movement. They bring Fed Jackson around the puller. There's a little kick out. Witt as well. And then Houston's the guy they feel like has a lot of speed. They think he's a good perimeter player, but has been running the ball well inside the tackles.
Hockman from the gun. Wants to throw. Right over the middle and complete to Thayer Thomas for 15.
And that's good timing and good ball location by Hockman. You know, when you have a receiver going on the middle field, don't make him reach. Hit him right between the 8 and the 7 like he does there.
Hockman looking like he's getting a little bit more comfortable, but that one is incomplete. Samuel came very quickly from that corner.
Yeah, and you see Asante Samuel Jr., he just jumps this, running a hitch. Carter kind of slow off the line of scrimmage. Samuel's reading back into the backfield, seeing Hockman. And you have to think now, if you're NC State, you know Samuel's an aggressive player. Not be surprised to see them test him double move or just trying to run by him at some point.
Hockman from the pocket and complete. Tough catch. That was Thomas paying the price after the reception. Gain of 5. Thomas, multi-talented. We talked about his baseball skills. He was drafted by the Boston Red Sox this year. Very good outfielder. And he's thrown a touchdown pass this season.
He's a very good athlete and has a great feel playing inside. Surprising that he's not out there on 3rd and 10.
Jabari Hines is. Pressure on him, but complete. Hines on the move. And a flag is down.
There is no foul in the play. 4th down.
That's happened a couple of times here in the first half where a flag was thrown, but there was no penalty.
And I think what was happening there is that was a shallow cross screen. So basically, Hockman knows he's throwing a shallow cross, and the rest of the receivers, they release down the field to go block. I think there was maybe an initial feeling that Angeline maybe initiated his block before the reception was made. I think it was the right call to pick up the flag.
4th and 1. From the 36. And the handoff person trying that right side, but he is shut down. Nowhere for Ricky Person to run. Another big stop by the Noles defensively. Boy, as a unit, they have been very impressive, Tim.
They've been great, especially the guys up front. And I believe that's Marvin Wilson right there, the big defensive lineman. Just look at the push that he gets. Fed Jackson's a good player, but he just plays on their side of the line of scrimmage. Not only does he cause that penetration to string the play out, but he ends up slipping off and making the tackle. And celebrate, big fella. That's a good play.
Yes, Marvin Wilson, guy who's really redefined his body. He's a team captain. Harlan says that he thinks he's sexy now with this new body of his.
They can think he's a lot of things if he'll make plays like that on 4th down.
No, sure. Back to throw. Throwing long, has a receiver open, and a touchdown, Wilson. 39 yards for the strike.
It's a phenomenal route by Wilson. He runs a slant and go, and it's a good ball by Alex Hornibrook. And they are attacking Palmer, number 6, the corner, who's now in the game because of the injuries to Nick McLeod last week and Tayshawn Smith earlier in this game.
Aguayo for the point after. And he drills that to put FSU in front 17-6 over the Wolfpack. Let's go to Larisha with Willie Taggart.
Alex Hornibrook had that 39-yard TD before the half. How impressed are you with his execution?
Well, I'm impressed, but that's what we expect out of Alex. Alex does a great job preparing. He's worked hard for it, and we expect him to execute when he's out there.
James Blackman has not been in the game, did not start. Will we see him tonight?
No, not unless we need him, we won't see him.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you very much.
All right, so at halftime, it's Florida State on top of North Carolina State, 17-6. And right after the short break, Dana Cuff and the gang will join you for the ACC Network halftime report. In Tallahassee, we're getting set for the second half. FSU on top of NC State, 17-6. Dave O'Brien alongside Tim Hasselbeck. And Alex Hornibrook coming off the bench and playing this game from the get-go. And with a couple of big receivers out there, he found them.
He did, and really there hasn't been a whole lot of offense in this game, and really no rhythm for either team. But Alex Hornibrook, his ability to find big plays has been the difference so far.
So Florida State with the football here in the second half. And going to bust it long. Here's Helton all the way down the left side. .58 yards. And not a bad way to start the second half.
A great way for Florida State to start the second half. We talked about their second half, woes this season. That's a great way to kick it off. And really, the difference for them has been the big plays in the passing game. I mentioned just a second ago their inability to get into a rhythm offensively. Well, they've gotten 2 huge plays in the passing game. One on a slant to Marion Terry that he's able to take to the house because of his speed, and then a slant and go to Pokey Wilson, and Alex Hornibrook's able to put it on him. That's really been the difference in this football game.
He'll throw again and complete to pick up another first down. Pokey Wilson, he's liked him tonight.
And it's Wilson on Keyshawn Miller. Again, a reserve corner who's, being forced into action because of injuries. And they're just winning easily on these slants and able to run a little bit afterwards.
Wilson's already caught a touchdown pass. Flares this one out. That's Cam Akers. And we talked with Florida State about his pass catching ability and where to rank it. They said 10 out of 10. Great hands.
And I think that's why Dave Doran said to us, he's special. He's the guy that you have to deal with because he can do it all. And big part of it is getting the ball in the run game and the pass game.
Hornibrook trying to keep that, but down he goes. Taken down by Asus, the junior from Spring Valley, New York. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 8. The second half has been a very different story for Florida State, particularly the 4th quarter, where they've really scrapped the score as opposed to early in the game, where in the 1st quarter they've been the best in the ACC. He has time in the pocket. Now scrambling, trying to get loose. Down he goes, taken down by Elias. That is the 6th time he's been sacked.
Yeah, and I think he kind of causes this one. You see there's a bit of a panic there. It's outstanding pass protection. This offensive line has been highly criticized, but they do a really nice job there versus a 3-man rush. And Hornibrook drops his eyes and rather than just kind of staying in there, remaining a passer, seemed like he was trying to be eager to escape and basically walks himself into a sack.
Now here's Aguayo from 47 yards. Remember, he missed 3 against Louisville last weekend. That kick is up, and that kick is no good. He has missed another one. It remains 17-6 FSU. FSU's great radio voice, Gene Deckeroff, calling his 500th Seminole game tonight. The voice of FSU football since '79. He's in the FSU Hall of Fame. Here's his touchdown call tonight.
Here's the snap to Hornibrook. Quick pass. Caught ball. First down to the 30. Across the 25 to the 20. To the 15 to the 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown to Mario Terry. He is scary. And the Noles retake the lead.
He is scary, and Gene is a legend here at Florida State.
Yeah, it's outstanding. 500 games, and obviously a great call there to Mario Terry. One of the most exciting plays of the game so far.
I'd say that's number one. Well, the Wolfpack trailing 17-6, and an incomplete pass. 1st and 10, intended for Powell. No, Hockman has not provided the lift they had hoped for.
They've thrown 10 passes coming into this game. Now he's playing with 2 true freshman running backs. They were looking for a spark, and I don't think that it's come. And so you just wonder if this offense continues to sputter with him, if we would maybe see Matt McKay back in the lineup.
Remaining on the sideline, 2nd down and 10. Houston, one of the freshman running backs. He'll get the call here, and they snuffed that out quickly. Dontavius Jackson jumped on him, and he had nowhere to go.
You know, Jackson just times up his pressure. Here he comes. He comes from here. He's just going to run this thing down from behind. I mean, that's just incredible effort, good instincts, great timing on the blitz by Jackson, who, you know, has been kind of in and out of the lineup. They've been rotating him with Rice, but that's great instincts and basically seeing it and hitting it.
Trent Penix now into the back. Wants to throw, and that one nearly intercepted and broken up on the sideline by Asante Samuel, as they were looking for Hines, but nearly picked.
Yeah, Asante Samuel really does a good job on this out. He kind of collisions Hines at the top of the route, and then almost undercuts it. And if you're, you know, Hockman, you got to miss outside, because that was dangerously close to going back the other way. By the way, his father, Asante Samuel, from the Patriots, as we remember, the 2-time Super Bowl champion, he kind of has that same aggressiveness to his game,
does.
you know, where he is looking to jump at nearly every single route.
It's in the DNA. There's no denying that. Matthews back to receive the punt. And he's going to run it. Gets to the 30, trying to make a spin move, and he's taken down. So that's where the drive will begin here for FSU. On top 17-6 here in the 3rd quarter at Tallahassee. At Doak Campbell Stadium, where Florida State has a 17-6 lead over NC State. Wolfpack playing their first ACC game of the season. FSU at 2-2. They get a bye week coming up, and so they want very much to have a nice win over a tough opponent heading into that bye week. Hornibrook to roll and fire into the flat, complete to Laburn and taken down by Drake Thomas. And picks up 4. Hornibrook with a lot of targets, some terrific wide receivers. That'll be complete to Keith Gavin to bring up 3rd down. Hornibrook out of Chester, Pennsylvania, 6'4", about 220, and a handoff and a 1st down. Laburn strong up the middle. Very elusive running back.
You know, we don't talk about him much because we see so much of Cam Akers, but Laburn, a good back in his own right, and does a good job there on 3rd and short. Was well blocked, just kind of lowers his pad level.
Right down the middle and complete to Keyshawn Helton before Ingles stopped him. And another big gain, this one for 24 yards.
Yeah, and you just look at Helton, does a good job of just working into the middle, zone coverage, find that void there, kind of throttles down a little bit, and good job of catching him by Hornibrook.
On a run to the right side. That was DJ Matthews, taken down by Moorhead.
Yeah, you look at Hornibrook. He basically, flips this to Matthews. That's a pass. We're going to call that a completion. But now they're running the option. That's DJ Matthews running the option with Cam Akers. And really, Griffin doesn't know what to do, how to play that. Certainly weren't preparing to face DJ Matthews in the option.
That one gun to the side, and a completion to Wilson. Wilson breaks a tackle. Turns that into a big gain. Finally stopped by Ingram, but not before a 19-yard rumble.
Again, it's Hornibrook moving to his left. That's when he's most comfortable. It moves to his left. Just make sure he stays in bounds here, which he does. But again, it's the speed and quickness of these Florida State wide receivers.
Wilson's had a big night. 5 receptions, 96 yards, big touchdown. It went for 39 yards in the first half. On a handoff, Akers busts out, gets inside the 10. That is some hard running, and a missed tackle by Moorhead too, as he gains 6.
You rarely see the first guy or just one guy get Cam Akers down.
Quarterback keeps it to the end zone, and touchdown. Caught by Terry. His second touchdown reception of the night. This one from 9 yards to make it 23-6 Florida State.
It's a nice call by Kendall Briles. Really hard play action. We just saw Cam Akers have a nice run where he's breaking tackles. So hard play action to Cam Akers, and that gets everybody to flow up, and we'll pop in behind it.
59 seconds to go in the third. The extra point is perfect. 24-6 FSU.
You look at what happens. It's going to be a little run action, and because of that, you're going to see Miller and Engel just flow up. And what that does is it lets Terry go in behind off of the play action. It's good patience on the fake. You see everybody draw up. Then a good job of putting the ball up there. Probably would like to have it a little bit higher, take some of the mystery out of it. But there's the fake bluff block there by Terry. And then a good job of just going up and fighting for the football.
Lassane back to take the fair catch. Let's go down to Larisha.
Well, you guys already talked about how James Blackman has been a cheerleader on the sideline. Well, when we spoke to head coach Willie Taggart, he said that was one of the small wins that he noticed from their previous win over Louisville, how the team was starting to really play together and play for their brothers. He called it selflessness, and we've seen that all throughout the sidelines, everybody going up to each other, congratulating each other, encouraging each other to push through, to keep fighting, and to keep the momentum going from what they have already started here tonight.
Well, a lot of that is taking for FSU, and you can see more than subtle changes being made. You know, a lot of the silly penalties are going away, and more unselfishness certainly coming to the fore for Florida State. It's a very good sign for the Seminoles. Hockman now running for his life, headed for the sideline, and incomplete. And tipped by Asante Samuel, is having a very strong night.
You know, Dave, you talk about the team coming together. Part of what will help that happen is when the quarterback that's playing will go between last week and this week, 41 for 55, throw 5 touchdowns and no interceptions. All of a sudden, guys can start to come together a little bit when that happens.
And feel a lot better about the season. Trying to get to 3-2 tonight. Hockman again, flushed out of there. Again on the move, but he'll complete that pass to Fisher and moves the chains. 36 seconds to go in the third. That went for 17. Maybe a late hit here.
Foul. Roughing the passer. Defense. Number 15-yard penalty out at the end of the run. First down.
It goes on Brendan Gant, the strong safety. Those are the kind of penalties that have hurt them in past games. Not so much tonight, but this one will.
Yeah, and you think about the struggles NC State has had tonight, the last thing you need to do is, after they have a completion for a first down, is to tack another 15 onto it and really make them feel like they have life.
Now moves it all the way to the 43 of FSU. And on the pitch, and a big hit before Houston is taken down by Akeem Dent for a gain of 7. So coming up on the end of the third quarter, with Florida State on top of NC State 24-6 here tonight in Tallahassee. Very nice crowd on hand. They have enjoyed it so far. The Seminoles into the fourth quarter, up 24-6. Well, about to get the fourth quarter underway. That has not always been a friend of the Seminoles, even though they're on top 24-6. They've had the lead and they've trailed in every single fourth quarter so far this season. Wolfpack trying to make a move here. Houston bouncing outside. He'll spin. Tried to stay on his feet, but getting down close to the 15. As Wildeen stopping him. So that's been the story. Florida State blowing leads. They were up 21-0 last weekend. Came back, lost the lead, came back, won the game.
And that's why you have to think there's got to be some doubt in their mind because of what they've gone through this season.
Houston on the run, stopped by Wilson. So 2nd down and 9. Looking for a stop here. The defense has been tremendous so far tonight for the Seminoles. And Levante Taylor, the right corner, back in there. He's had a superb game. Wolfpack has had no luck tonight in the red zone. Firing for the end zone and overthrown. Intended for Angeline, but there is a flag down on the play. Durden pleading his case.
Roughing the passer. Defense number 16. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Again, these are the penalties that have hurt them so much late in games this season.
Talking about 30 yards right here, that we've seen recently. He's just late and he's up high. Late and up high on the quarterback. You're going to get it. I mean, he's wondering why it's there, but I mean, it's clearly a penalty. And I don't know why it happens at this point in the game for this team, especially when I know they're being coached. We talked to Willie Taggart. He's talking to his team about not having those types of penalties. And here we go. We've seen 2 of them.
They didn't have them last week. Only 5 penalties total against Louisville. Major reason they won the game.
Sure is.
This will bring up 1st and goal. Houston in the back along with Bailey Hockman, quarterback who has played all but 3 series. And he's the number 2 man. He'll fire it, diving for the end zone. And as he is in. And a touchdown, Wolfpack. That goes from 3 yards out. So from 3 yards, and he's had a big night, 75 yards and a couple of touchdowns.
It's a little wide receiver outside there. Thomas does a good job of blocking Asante Samuel, and Fagan just can't get there fast enough. That's why that spot ended up being critical, to be honest with you. You can run a play like that from the 3-yard line and score a touchdown.
Well, it's been a choppy offensive game for the Wolfpack, certainly, but they're right back in it. Plenty of time. Now the point after is good. 13 minutes to go, 24-13, FSU. FSU's lead now cut to 24-13 as NC State has punched it in, their first touchdown tonight here in the fourth quarter with 13 minutes to go.
Yeah, they're kind of clawing their way back into it. And you think about, Dave Huxtable, the defensive coordinator for NC State. You think about Tony Gibson. They want to be aggressive, finding a way to give that offense another opportunity. It's in Dave Doran's DNA to be aggressive. Wouldn't be surprised to see something, whether a surprise onside, or maybe even an opportunity to come up with some pressures on the defensive side.
So Gill with a kickoff. And Helton lets it roll on out. Wolfpack were, in fact, the first team to beat FSU on their home turf after the Noles joined the ACC in 1992. And they've beaten them the last 2 times. But the Noles with the upper hand tonight in Tallahassee. Akers again trying to break free. Val Martin wraps him up.
And that holding penalty is such a big penalty when you just think about trying to remain on schedule in some way. I mean, you got 2nd and 19, and you know, if NC State can just kind of keep them from gaining any more than 5 yards right here, you kind of create an opportunity to do what I was talking about, where you get aggressive on defense. You maybe bring a pressure to try to get a hit on the quarterback, a fumble, or confuse him, come up with an interception.
Seminoles actually ahead in time of possession tonight. They're last in the country in that category. He's coming into play tonight. Matthews with a catch. Trying to dart inside of the 50. DJ Matthews with a big hit. 22 yards.
You look at Matthews, who's just working the seam. They bring a slot pressure as he works in the middle of the field. You see Thomas is trying to get some depth. It's an excellent job of Hornibrook of layering the football, getting it up and down over the linebacker.
Well, Akers still churning ahead. Extra yards after the first man met him. Finally taken down by Peyton Wilson. 7-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 3. And the Noles are on the move.
You would think that this is just Cam Akers' time. You know, they mentioned 25 touches. He's got 16 carries. You just see the way that he's finishing runs.
ACC's top rusher. Second down and 3. Hornibrook to throw. And lofts that one out of play. 3rd down and 3.
You know, you kind of changed the play at the line of scrimmage, but look to the left. DJ Matthews and Wilson, both those guys are blocking. I think they thought it was a run play. And Hornibrook is looking out there to throw them the football, and they're out there blocking the guys that are covering them.
5 out of 13 on 3rd down conversions. And from the 44, Hornibrook stepping up. Now on the run. Taken down very close to the first down by Peyton Wilson.
And you look at Hornibrook here, does a good job escaping. I'm not sure he doesn't get to that 40-yard line.
Akers straight ahead. He takes off. Cam Akers. Touchdown. Well, you had said it 30 seconds ago that it was his time of the night, and he breaks free.
He's just such a good back. He's got good patience. He's got good vision. He has the breakaway speed. You just feel like he's got the ability to just lean on you and lean on you and lean on you. Fall forward, and then spring one.
And nobody takes him down on the first try. He scores from 41 yards. And the Seminoles to make it 31-13 against NC State.
Yeah, Cam Akers just pours it up in there. And you said it, Dave. Not one guy bringing him down, runs through arm tackles, able to walk into the end zone.
Cam Akers busting free, 41 yards for the touchdown to make it 31-13 FSU with 9:13 to play here tonight in Tallahassee. Now we'll see if the Wolfpack have a big time comeback left in them. Hussein will catch it. About 5.5 minutes to go. Hockman, and the pass complete. There's also a flag on the play, caught by Carter. But a flag down.
Pass interference, defense. The ball be placed and spotted the foul. First down.
So NC State with a first down. With 5:24 on the clock here in Tallahassee. Bailey Hockman, the backup. First and 10. Fire to the middle and incomplete. Trying to hit there. Thomas again, but not this time.
And Florida State not just sitting back, you know, playing zone coverage, playing soft. They bring a blitz there, bring the corner, and I think they're still coming after Bailey Hockman and trying to cause some confusion.
Second and 10 on the 30. Hockman nearly intercepted, batted right back to the receiver, caught by Hines, almost intercepted by Cyrus Fagan, but Hines winds up with a catch.
I've never seen this before. He's throwing a shallow cross, goes through the hands of Hines, then off of the defender that's going to pick the tip, and then caught again by the guy that dropped it originally.
Wow. Off Fagan and then right back to Hines.
You get a drop and a catch all in the. How do we score that?
You might. We're checking on it. Take another look. About 4.5 to go. Hockman flushed out to his left, looking downfield, and a spectacular effort there, but incomplete. As Thomas is upended, a flag down again.
Legal player downfield. Offense number 66. Penalties declined. Fourth down.
Josh fed Jackson, that player.
It's a big hit there. Thomas has taken a couple big hits tonight. Probably none bigger than that one there.
Yep, Akeem Dent. Ouch. Upending him. So 4th and 10 here for NC State. Looking to throw again, and he hits his tight end, Angeline, and will pick up a first down. That is one big target.
It's a big target, and it's an outstanding job by Trent Penix in at running back in pass protection, and Angeline able to use that big body to shield the defender.
Hockman passing over the center, right at the 50-yard line. Angeline again.
I mean, you just take a look at the officials here. He's going to pick the flag up and throw it. Your little pass to your buddy here. Here's your flag. You need it. Whoop. Listen, been a lot of flags tonight.
A lot of them, especially in the second half.
I was a little tired from throwing. The accuracy's impacted.
Hockman wriggling free and finds a receiver that is Powell on the sideline. Pressured by Nasruddin, who does that a lot. He can really get after a quarterback.
You see that 20 penalties tonight, Dave. You see it's kind of like throwing 100 pitches for a pitcher. At that point, you start to lose a little velocity, some accuracy.
A lot of stuff. 20 accepted penalties. Incomplete. And more pressure on the quarterback by Josh Brown. I'll tell you what, Bailey Hockman has taken a beating tonight. And he's going to hobble out. And Devin Leary, the freshman, will become the third quarterback to be used in this one by the Wolfpack.
And if you think about the way Matt McKay finished the Ball State game, started this game, obviously wasn't what Dave Doran wanted to see. And so we see, you know, Bailey Hockman, he doesn't spark this offense.
Where he throws incomplete for first down to Powell.
You almost wonder, Dave, if this ends up being an option for them going forward. Highly talented recruit. You see Hockman here earlier in that drive, you know, gets hit and gets, you know, thrown to the ground. Looked like it was something in his lower body bothering him, but
Leary Got it off quick. Jackson with the hit on Penix. And a very solid night for FSU here in Tallahassee. The crowd came out to see him tonight. That's got to make head coach Willie Taggart very happy, because on Monday he talked about that quite a bit. You know, come on out, call some friends, bring your whole family. Obviously the attendance is thinned out here in the fourth quarter, but they had a nice crowd tonight and a loud one.
I agree with you, Dave. They showed up, they made noise, and they had, you know, somewhat of an impact on the game.
Catch by Carter. And a 14-yard gain. FSU seeking their first consecutive ACC win since 2016 after beating Louisville last week. Got a big lead, lost it, had to come from behind to win that game. Tipped away in the end zone and incomplete. Broken up by Ronaldo Green, intended for Carter. Under 2 minutes to go.
Leary just doesn't put enough, you know, air on this one to Carter. Give him a chance to go fight for it. And, you know, Dave, you mentioned those 2 ACC wins, you know, the back-to-back wins for Florida State. And, you know, the first time we talked to Willie Taggart, he really talked about the confidence of his football team needing to be better. And you would think you string together a couple wins in the conference, defense plays as well as it's played tonight, that maybe that's what this team needed to have that happen and build some confidence.
Well, there is a calmness with Hornibrook, is there not? I mean, that's inherent in his style of play. Different style of play with James Blackman, who's a very, very good and creative quarterback, and a guy that they really love to play around. But Hornibrook has really gotten a foothold here these last couple of games. I don't think there's any question about that. Pass complete. He's going to break three. Fisher lost it. And it's recovered by FSU. The fumble picked up by the Noles. Recovered by Emmett Rice. Well, receiver tried to continue on and make more out of the play and lost the football.
Yeah, and it's a great hustle play by Amari Gaynor. You see him run that down from behind, about ready to be a touchdown, and it's pursuit to the football. Fagan misses the tackle, but late in this football game, Gaynor, who's played a ton of snaps in place of the injured Lars Woodby, just look where it comes from. I mean, he's rushing the quarterback, turns, retraces his steps, runs that play down from behind. That's awesome effort.
You know, the defensive side for Florida State in the opening weeks was hotly criticized, but they've played a terrific game tonight against NC State, who came in averaging about 34 points a game. One of the top offenses in the ACC. So Florida State, impressive in many ways tonight. They were leaning towards starting James Blackman. That was the plan until he tweaked that knee yesterday. Willie Taggart going back to Alex Hornibrook, and he had another fine game.
And you wonder if anything has changed now. I mean, they told us that James Blackman was going to start. And, you know, it seems like he didn't because of the injury. But now has something changed? And from where I sit, it seems like it should, but not Willie Taggart.
Hornibrook will take the knee. FSU with 3 long touchdowns. Terry 44 yards, Wilson 39, and Akers with that 41-yard rush into the end zone. And Willie Taggart and FSU to celebrate a victory tonight over Dave Doran and the NC State Wolfpack. It'll go in as a final of 31-13 here in Tallahassee.
That's a big win for Willie Taggart, a really big win, and I think that he's kind of positioned himself to have some tough decisions, you know, ahead of him with the quarterback situation. But, you know, as you head into a game at Clemson, to feel like maybe you're playing your best football of the season, well, it's a couple weeks away, but it's the next one on the schedule.
Let's go down to Larisha with Willie Taggart.
Coach, you talked about finishing. How would you describe how your guys put things together for you all tonight?
Well, I think our guys finished. They did what they were supposed to, and they came in the second half and played ball like we're supposed to. Totally different than what we did all year long. And again, it's another win for our guys. It's another little win for our guys, and it's good to see our guys finding ways to win and finding corrections from weeks before.
What would you say was a strength that you saw from Alex Hornibrook tonight?
Well, it's just his accuracy, his leadership, and how he gets everybody in the play. And then he does a great job of keeping the play live and allows to get some explosive plays.
The fans showed up. They heard your plea from your press conference on Monday. How would you describe their support?
The support's always been there. You know, we have a rabid fan base. Our fans are excited about football. They look for winners. They want winners, and all they want is our football team to win. You know, so I told our guys to go out. Let's give them what they want, and our guys are starting to do it now.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Well, that is a nice win for Coach Taggart. Well, his mom, Dawn, was in tears when he came off the bench last week against Louisville and led them to that win. That's a very happy household again, because Hornibrook was outstanding in this win, 31-13 tonight over NC State. For my partner, Tim Hasselbeck and Larisha Harris, I'm Dave O'Brien. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Hope you'll be with us next week when Pitt takes on Duke in the ACC. Final again, Florida State 31, NC State 13, all ACC coming up next.